Hello, my name's Gary, welcome back to the channel. So the Under-21 European Championship starts on the 11th of June and it's going to be a great tournament this summer. Who's going to win it? Can England retain the title because we are defending champions, of course? And which teams have qualified for the tournament? Let's take a look. So as I already mentioned, the tournament starts on the 11th of June with Slovakia versus Spain. England do get underway on the 12th of June against the Czech Republic. Tables are as follows. There's 4 groups, so only 16 teams have qualified. So it's Italy, Romania, Slovakia in Spain in Group A, Czech Republic, England, Germany and Slovenia in Group B, France, Georgia, Poland and Portugal in Group C, and Denmark, Finland, Netherlands and Ukraine in Group D. Now, the first thing to mention about this tournament is that it's always a very difficult tournament to predict. It really is. I know over the last few years, the traditional powerhouses of European football have won this tournament. England, Germany, Spain, for example. But at this level, there's a lot of good teams. And ultimately, the fact that only 16 teams are able to even qualify for this tournament means that if you're there, you're already playing really good football. And ultimately, on the night, any team at this tournament can beat anybody. There's some top talent here. Now, for me to predict this entire tournament, that is going to obviously be very difficult because I would have to have a ball knowledge like Football Manager, really, because there's no way I'm going to know the under-21 teams of half of these nations. Obviously, there'll be some players there that will be known, very well known, but ultimately, the exciting thing about this tournament is that as a fan of England, I know very little about Spain's under-21, Portugal under-21, Germany under-21, France's, whatever, and vice versa, really. So you go into this tournament very much with an open mind. It has to be said, when you consider all these things I'm mentioning here, the fact that England won the tournament 2 years ago against Spain in that final, if you remember, but we went the whole tournament without even conceding a single goal. It was a remarkable record. And ultimately, looking back at England's last under-21 squad that was announced under Thomas Tuchel, obviously under Lee Carsley, but this is a stacked squad, and ultimately expectations are high, and it's all painting the picture that England are going to take the strongest possible team they can. And it means that Thomas Tuchel this Friday is probably going to name a weaker England squad. Players like Adam Wharton, for example, possibly still might not get called up to the senior squad because they're probably more likely to be picked for this under-21 tournament. Germany, England, Spain, France are probably most people's favourites, one of those 4 anyway, to win the tournament. But I can't wait. I genuinely can't wait. And if you're looking at this game on the 12th of June against Czech Republic thinking England are going to walk it, think again. Like I said, this is going to be a solid tournament. I mean, ultimately, it's a big ask for England to go back-to-back tournaments and win the thing. And I'm not expecting England to do that, if I'm honest with you. I think there's a lot of talent there in that England squad. Can it necessarily gel as a team? We've seen what happens in the senior team where if you just chuck all the talent in the world into a starting 11, it doesn't necessarily mean they make a good team. And I think maybe the balance might be slightly off. There are some experienced players potentially going to be at that tournament though as well. It's fair to say Spain have been the most successful team in this tournament over the last decade and a half, really. If you look back here, since 2011, Spain have won 3 titles. Sweden have been champions as well, alongside Germany twice and England once. Rather interestingly, France haven't won this tournament since 1988. And in fact, until the last tournament, England hadn't won this thing since 1984. But Czech Republic won this tournament in 2002. Sweden, as I said, won it in 2015, a real shock. The Netherlands have won it twice. Russia's won it twice. Serbia won it in 1978. It's a difficult tournament to predict. It really is. But ultimately, possibly Spain are going to be the biggest challenge. They're just dominating the sport, really, aren't they? From males to women's to youth level. They're just a fantastic team. But England, there's never going to be a better opportunity, I don't think, for England to not only win this tournament, but to retain it as well. I genuinely think England will arguably, amongst most people, even a neutral, will probably have one of the strongest squads there. And I'm absolutely buzzing for it. Obviously, this runs alongside the Women's European Championships this summer that England are also defending champions in. But who knows? You look at teams like Georgia, for example. It's fantastic that they've qualified for this tournament. It really is. Slovakia are the home nation. This will be taking place in Slovakia, so they may fancy their chances at this tournament to have some sort of impact. England could easily go out in the group stage. Look, make no mistake, England could easily struggle to get out of this group. All the teams could, because I can't emphasise enough how competitive it is at this level. I think there's going to be a lot of goals this time. There's no way England are going through this tournament without conceding a single goal. Even though I would have said that 2 years ago, I just certainly won't see it happening this time. I do think England will score a lot, though, in return. So I think probably what we get back in regards to defensive frailties this time around, or certainly not being as strong defensively this time around, I think then it'll be counteracted by the fact that I think we're going to create a lot of opportunities, but we need to be clinical in front of goal. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. If you're new to this channel and you've watched it so far, hit the subscribe button, because I'll be live streaming every single game. We'll do some watch-alongs. I can't wait to see some of these young English lads in action, really, at a tournament. And ultimately, it's a really exciting tournament we can look forward to this summer, given the fact that the World Cup is still a year away. Which country are you from? Do you fancy your country's chances of winning this tournament? Could there be an upset? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all on my next video.